Hello there, welcome to Business Nigeria. Let's bring you top business stories making headlines in the world of business. As you know, the Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee's 2 days rate-setting meeting begins today in the nation's capital, Abuja. A lot of expectations from that meeting. Are the rates going to be retained? There's going to be any shift by the Apex Bank. We'll know that at the end of that meeting. And the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NPC, records a trade surplus of 6.33 billion naira for the month of May. 13% higher than the 5.6 billion naira made in April. Qatar Airways to commence direct flights to Gabon in Botswana, Gorabon, I beg your pardon, beginning from October this year. And the big one is the Nigeria's printing and publishing industry. That's our focus today on the show. Let's see what's happening in that world and what technology is actually doing in that space. Welcome to the show. The Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee 2-day rate meeting begins today in the nation's capital. Now, members of the committee are expected to deliberate on the state of the economy and decide on key monetary policy parameters. The meeting comes at a time the country's inflation eased from 11.4 in May to 11.2 in June. Chief Executive Officer of Cowrie Assets Limited joined us earlier, and he says this is the best time to review the rates downwards.
I think this time around they have more compelling reasons to adjust the rate downwards. If you look at some of the policies the Central Bank has come up with in the recent past, they have increased the bank loan to deposit rate to 60%. They've also restricted the amount of standing deposit facility rate that Central Bank can pay interest on to only 2 billion naira. So what the Central Bank is doing is to push liquidity into the system and encourage banks to lend. In furtherance of that, I think they have a more compelling reason to reduce rates from current 13.5% to maybe 13%. Reasons are that what they want to look at is that the benchmark rate, when you adjust it downwards, you actually send a message to the market that the government, the central bank wants to encourage a community monetary policy. And I think given the adjustment, the downward movement in inflation rate from 11.4% to 11.22%, there is no more auspicious time for the central bank to adjust the monetary policy. I mean, for the MPs to adjust the monetary policy rate.
Looking for a company in Nigeria that can handle all your printing needs? Afkar Printing and Publishing Company owns a high-tech printing press in Lagos that provides specialized printing solutions. Yusuf Fakogu visited the company and brought back this report.
Afkar Printing and Publishing Company Limited, an international standard printing press, started operations in November 2010 with a vision to offer clients in West Africa the benefits of the latest print technology available internationally. The company's production factory in Ogba, Lagos is well equipped with state-of-the-art printing technology that offers customers a wide range of services.
And then the drumming process, and then
Adeomi Jacob is the senior production manager. He explains that the facility available from pre-press to press and finishing show that Afkar offers clients in Africa and beyond the benefits of the latest print technology.
None of the equipment that are here are not of the top range in the first place. I can tell you, do your research, Adibag is right there at the top when you're talking about equipment in the printing presses. So when you now have a combination of 3 presses that are all of the top range, from A1 press, that is 6 color, that is at the same time lacquer base, and also infrared products, and at the same time you have 2B presses that are for A2 size that can do up to 20-30 products, and then you have all the finishing machine where we have a cutting machine, we have a 3-knife trimmer, we have a die cutting machine that can do embossing, that can do creasing, all at the same time. And then we have machines that can also side stitch, that can do inline stitching, that can as well, also we have machines that can do perfect binding machine. We are actually ready to produce for international market.
The senior marketing manager assures clients of products with international quality at affordable prices.
We believed that Afkar is taking the largest portion of the business market, and we are also looking beyond Nigeria. What we are targeting as of today is to bring back some of those that are printing outside there. Some, we found out that about 90% of what's supposed to be a print, opportunity for the Nigerians are out there. So we are trying to, and we are sure of giving it to you at a very, competitive price.
The CEO and his deputy say Afkar Printing and Publishing Company Limited represent the new face of printing in West Africa.
We do all our finishing ourselves, which is pretty unique even in Nigeria. So the standard of our work, I think we have achieved international quality, and I believe our products stand as witness to that. We can print anything with ink on paper. That includes brochures, calendars. We're also into the light packaging market, and virtually any printing requirements that should and perhaps in the future, or would have in the future, been bought abroad, we're now encouraging all the printing market to come to Afkar and to keep the print in Nigeria.
The story has been from strength to strength, from good to better, and as at today, I can assure you that you will get the same quality of machinery, the same quality of product, and even the staff. We have come up to that standard where we are all very good at what we do, and that's why we are here.
In all of this, there are bound to be challenges with respect to operating environments.
It has just been one thing after another, and just importing our own raw materials proves very difficult, and the duty that incurs, the additional costs to our raw materials comes up to something like 40%. And all I can say is that I'm very concerned of this, because all it does is encourage the other printers from outside countries to infiltrate our work. And if I tell you that 95 out of 100 education books used here in Nigeria are actually printed outside of a country, which I think is a sad demise of the workforce. And if I tell you my workforce are probably my biggest strength, and on the commercial side again, 30% of the work that could be easily done here in Nigeria with the quality that we've got, and in the printing industry general, is still going out of the country.
Yusuf Akogu, TVC News, Lagos.
Wow, beautiful pictures there. But just let me go straight. I have the Chief Executive Officer, I'm the CEO of Afkar Printing and Publishing Company, Ballard. He's here in the studio live, and he's not alone. The Deputy Managing Director of the company, Dr. Florence Adeshola, is also here. So we'll be digging it deep into what's really happening with Afkar. Nice to have you join us on the show today. I'm going to start here. How long have you been with Afkar Printing here in Nigeria? Tell me.
Well, my journey and my adventure into the Nigerian print market started in December 2011, and I had a meeting not in Lagos but in London with our chairman, and the informal meeting went very well, and at the end of it he invited me for a formal interview, which I attended in February of 2012, and I was surrounded by the board of directors, and they were all in native attire, and they were frightening me to death, and the chairman seemed nonchalant about it all and was busy on his phone, and so I was trying to answer all these questions on marketing, staff, and they were trying to find out what knowledge I had, and the chairman just kept looking at his phone, and then all of a sudden, when I really was desperate for help, he looked up and just said, "So when are you going to start then, Alan?" So hence, come April 2012, I joined Afkar, and the welcome from not only Sholafala, but from Jacob and the MM that you saw there, who joined just after I did, has been fantastic, and it's been more good than bad. That's all I would say. So.
Before I come to that, I want to follow up on that. How would you compare running this kind of company in Nigeria compared to Europe?
Well, I would say, having been in the printing industry over 40 years, that print is print, and when you're trying to achieve international standards, you've got to set the same principles no matter where you are. What I had to do to start off with was to talk to my staff, talk to my clients, and go on from there.
Great. Let me talk to Solano. I want you to explain more about Afkar's products and services. Give us more insight into what we've seen briefly, what we just saw.
Thank you, Tolu. As you've seen, the production manager talked about the machines, their pride of printing, and we're proud to be associated with them. And they produce top-notch quality. We produce calendars. These, we're getting into the calendar season ordering. We produce books. We work closely with publishers to produce school books. We work with private publishers. We do brochures. We do annual reports. We do cards, anything ink on paper we produce. Then we have a section where we do light packaging. We do pharmaceutical products. Yes, we do packs. For example, these catering outfits, the light boards that they use in packing their foods, we produce all of that. So we have different line of the business. It's a one-stop shop. We have a finishing, we have a pre-press, we have a press. So we have the capacity to do anything you call printing.
Interesting. Alan, what are the downsides of this business? I know it looks very interesting. I saw that video, and first thing that came to my mind was challenges, infrastructure. Tell us, how has it been? What are the downsides?
Well, as you quite rightly say, a lot of the downsides of or the difficulties of trading in Nigeria are the power and the infrastructure. But I think the hardest thing that we came across, or do come across even now, is the bureaucracy. And as was mentioned earlier in the clip you played, the importation of our raw materials, be it plates, paper, even ink at times, things that aren't available locally at the moment, perhaps in the future will be, but at the moment the duty and the bureaucracy that goes with it, the clearing and everything else, it makes it very difficult for us to compete with the people who can win the contracts, go away, print it and bring in the full job, and the duty is far less. So it's that infiltration that I think is what we're really aiming at, and it's those people that are going outside of the country to get their printing that we're really trying to encourage to come along, have a look and see what we can offer, have a look at the samples and the quality of our work, look at the factory, and then sit down and talk and see if we can arrange and become a good partner for them.
Indeed, and do business.
Yeah, sure.
I want to follow up on that, the downsides. Let's talk more about this in this our environment. We know what it is. Even at this time where governments try to make things a little easy, talking about the ease of doing business, and like he identified, talking about easing exports and all of that. So what's been happening with your own business?
Okay, I would say unfortunately, printing materials are 95% export-based. You are import-based. You have to import everything from paper to ink to the chemicals to the consumables. You know, it's the eager workforce that you get locally. And what it means is that you have to take most of your earnings abroad to purchase these things. You know what it is to even go through custom anyway, the bureaucracy, the time wasted. Apart from this, like my MD said, you pay a lot of money. So we are competing unfavorably with people that just take their portfolio abroad and import this. Overall, duties are about 40% on printing products. And people that bring their finished books are paying zero duty. So how do you manage it? So it will be very difficult for printers to be rich with that kind of situation. What are we asking for? Companies are canvassing for made in Nigerian products. Then the government is campaigning about locally made products. I know that the president is at the forefront of this, is encouraging it, is signing directives, is making executive orders to say, look inward first.
Yes. Local content.
You know, local content before you go abroad. And in Afkar, we say Nigeria first. We say, why go abroad? When you have equally good products close to you, what we just need is for the government, you know, to monitor. They are trying anyway, but to monitor, not just to make orders, not to give directives, but to monitor so that their good works would not have been gone to waste. Those are the things that we have a little control over. Do we have control over power? In fact, alternative power sources are even more expensive than the government power itself. So we just, because it's a low margin business anyway, it's school books and all of that. What do they cost? What are we going to make on it? Power, bureaucracy, infrastructure has taken all the money. We are not even talking about gains. So we just need help.
We can go on and on with challenges. I know it can be very touching, especially when you talk about business and you've invested millions of naira into it. I don't want to say this is not an issue of quality or price. What are we looking at here? Is it pricing or is it the quality?
Well, it's when you look at it, at the end of the day, it's convincing people, first of all, of the quality. Of that, I've got no doubt at all that Afkar can come up with the goods. When it comes to the pricing, as I said to you earlier, we're looking more for partnerships, long-term relationships, rather than the one-off job where we do a job and then we don't see anyone again. Regarding the work from the government, as Mrs. Sholafala said, it's so intricate that the way that the duty is structured at the moment, and all we ask for is for it to be looked at the other way. If 9 out of 10 education books are printed abroad, you know, it doesn't take much to work out that, you know, that the local boys are struggling to win those contracts, and therefore, you know, it does boil down to price. But if the contract could stipulate that 50% of the work has got to be done locally, it would be a good start. We can build up our capacity, we can build up our staff and give opportunities and work to the local forces. You know, we've got the works procedures in place, we've trained our staff regularly, and they're all brought up to good standards of workmanship.
So how can they get to see you? How can they get to reach you? Let me get that from Alan and a parting one from her. How do we get to see you if we want to do business with you? Tell Nigerians.
Well, our website has got all the details of our company profile, and that gives you all the numbers that you might want. We're also here in Ogba. You're welcome to come along and have a look at us, see exactly what we can offer.
Okay, I'll just support by saying the name of the company is Afkar Printing and Publishing Company Limited. We're located at number 151 Acme Road, Ogba, Lagos. And our website is www.afkarprintsng.com. And of course, our hotlines are 080-230-77605 and 080-2321-3078. Sorry.
Take that again.
080-230-77605 and 080-2321-3078. Those are our hotlines. You call us, we pick on first ring, and we attend to you.
Wow, that's all we can take on the show. Thank you very much, Alan Ballard, MD CEO, Afkar Printing, and Dr. Adeshola Falaye. Thank you very much. It's been really interesting seeing what technology can do in the world of printing. Don't worry, we'll keep in touch. TVC is also a partner with you, so we are moving to greater places.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank
sir.
you very much. All right, then.
Thank you
too.
very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
All right, then we'll take a break. Do I need to go on a break? Actually, my producer is telling me that the market editor is standing by. Afkar Ekop, live from the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange to bring us up to speed with the trading pattern. Hello, Ekop. It's a Monday. What's happening at the exchange? How did it close?
Yeah, we started the week very low, and the market was down from beginning till the closing hour. Stocks in the manufacturing subsector, insurance, banking, oil and gas, all of them were down. Particularly insurance securities, they took great bashing from investors who went on selling off their stocks, and we had the likes of Consolidated Insurance, Linkage, and WAPI. They took great bashing from low activities in the market. And the insurance subsector is really under pressure because regulators want many of the companies, especially the ones quoted here, to recapitalize. And so you can imagine the pressure that insurance companies, the entire sector, is facing now. So index was down 0.40 down this afternoon.
Effiong, let's look at the big one, MPC. I know some stockbrokers would have reacted to that. What are expectations? Retention, a shift? A lot is being expected, particularly at this time when people are looking at the new policy of the central bank, trying to make sure that banks lend to the real sector.
Well, there is not much of a reaction from this end because already we are trading with very low figures. That's what is disturbing market operators. How do they beef up the figures? So out there, I think that many people want the CBN to show commitment to reducing interest rates to lenders, and that may come if they come down with the prime rate. So as much as that happens for the entire economy, it is not only the problem that faces the stock markets. Tolu? Okay,
well, that's great. Now let's see how it all plays out. All we want is positive trade at our stock exchange because that measures the barometer of how the economy too would run. Effiong Ekop, thank you very much for your time. Well, it's on that note that we'll round up this edition of the show. Thank you very much for watching. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to trail what will be the outcome of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting. A lot is expected after this meeting. Stay with us as we'll bring you up to speed with guest analysts on the show to break it down for you to understand what these figures really mean. Thank you very much for watching. Let's do this again tomorrow.